Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this morning. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Dan. Oh, first time, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Verinder, Prima, Maria, Ibrahim. Maria, where did I spell it? Nasdaq. I'm not trying to, I can't see that. I probably have a typo somewhere, I'm sure. Okay. Let's take a look. We've got about 18 minutes for the market to open. Can probably see what's going on this morning. Just going to pull up the other indices to take a look too. Okay. First, let's see if there's any news coming out today. I remember we looked at yesterday. I think there was like some, ISM stuff coming out this morning at 9. So that's just good to be aware of that. 9 a.m. We've got ISM manufacturing stuff coming out. So I don't think it's going to be a real market mover, but it's just something to keep in mind. You might not want to be in a scalp or short-term position at that time, because the price may spike around it for just reacting to the news, and you'll be like, why is this price spiking around? So 9 a.m. keep in mind. Coming in this morning, we can start with the daily. What did we have yesterday? A big recovery from the gap down yesterday. We had a big gap down. This is where we closed on Friday. This is where we opened Sunday night. We had a massive spike down. We talked about this in pre-market yesterday. And then price clearly recovered during the market session yesterday. We've come up now to the 20 SMA on the daily. And I think this is where it's going to find some significant resistance. We had this marked out yesterday. I honestly didn't think it was going to get up there yesterday. I thought it was going to take it maybe a couple days, but I am overall bearish on this thing. We're obviously in this downtrend, since the first of the year around that, and there hasn't been any real positive news to send it back up. So, there's a lot of bears. I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of bearish bias going on. Lower highs, daily time frames, we've got lower highs going on and lower lows. We're in a down channel on the higher time frames. That doesn't mean that we don't have days that go up. We clearly have some green days in this downtrend. However, I think maybe we're gonna do one of these now, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. We may be coming into some resistance at this 20 SMA. It may come through it a little bit. I'm not sure. So one thing I will say is that I think that this 20 SMA is going to probably form some resistance on the day. Now, if we get like a doji candle today, if we get a candle that looks something like this, let's say for the close of the day, we just range up here, we get a doji or something. And then tomorrow we break the high of today, then I think that would be a bullish sign. We might move up here. However, I suspect we're gonna make a leg down. So that would be a setup for tomorrow. If we get a doji today, we get no significant bearish action going on. Then I think tomorrow I would be looking for this to break and for price to start to move up here a little bit more. But that is for tomorrow. For today, let's look at the hourly. Is there anything on the 4-hour for me? We can take a peek at the 4-hour. We've got time here. We can just draw a quick uptrend line there. We can see that we've broken through that. This hasn't quite completed yet, it seems like. We do have that 20 SMA there. I wouldn't be too surprised if price came up. We touched the upper band on the 4-hour plus the 200 SMA on the 4-hour, and then we pinned through it and came back down. So that might be, we pinned through this high, this pre-market high right here, overnight session high. I've got this red line drawn out up there at the top. Oh, that's my 20 SMA on the daily. I'm going to adjust that just a tad, and we can see how that 20 SMA held in pre-market. the overnight session. I shouldn't say pre-market, the overnight session here on the hourly. And I think, you know, possibly you might see that. You might see a little bull trap here. Price comes up, we hit the upper band, and then we come back down. So that is certainly a possibility. I would not be looking to short it up at this level. I would be waiting for it to break and come up to 14,500, which is 170 points away. That's a pretty big move. But that would be another area. I'll mark that out up here. And I'm going to actually move that down to 14,500. Sure, that band will pinch in a little bit. So there's a couple levels. Another level is this guy down here. We can mark him on the 20 SMA on the 4 hour. Now he's up here for a reason. I'm trying to... Maybe I had him there for the 20 SMA on the 4 hour to begin with. So we'll leave that there. That's a level. We've got a level at the top. Let's look at the hourly. So we had this channel going on yesterday. This is the channel we had drawn out yesterday that we traded. We took this move up here, I believe. So I'm going to remove that top trend line on that. I'm going to keep this trend line right here. I think this was the supporting trend line. We had 1, 2, a little bit of a touch here, and then it broke through. For trend lines, the more touches you have a trend line, the more valid they are. So I think that we had this 1, 2, 3 touches on it, then we broke it, and we came through the 20 SMA on the 1 hour, which is up there. I don't know if that's coming through on the screen or not. Blow this up. And now we've moved down into the, you know, quote unquote sell zone of the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour. You know, and we're hitting the 20 SMA. So we've come down into the sell zone, hit the bottom of the band. We've come up, we've hit the 20 SMA. Now there's a little LVN right here, if you can see it, a little low volume node. VWAP is here, 20 SMA. This is a big area of confluence. You know, just trading off of this, I would suspect this is going to now come down. But again, we marked out a couple levels here on the open. You know, in the first 15 minutes or so, anything's kind of possible in this thing. It may want to pop up, like we said, pop through pre-market highs, get a little bull trap going, and then tank down. But right now, I would just be looking to short it at this level, particularly on. We can look at a 5-minute real quick. I like how this has come up to VWAP plus the 20 SMA that we just called out on the 60-minute. We're now coming down. I could totally see it popping down into this area. As we break the 20 SMA on the 5-minute, this is a very bearish candle. And then we would pop down to 14,100, but I'm not going to take anything in pre-market. So we'll look over at the 500 volume quickly. Stuff we look on this is, I'm not really looking at candlesticks on this. This is kind of like my entry chart. I'm looking at, we're negative on the day, negative delta, right at VWAP. So bearish bias going on with this. Again, you know, taking this trade here looks pretty good. If the market was open, I'd definitely be looking to take this thing right here. Coming down off that 20 SMA, coming down off VWAP, we would move down again. One other level I wanted to mark off. Oh, I want to mark off the 20 SMA here on the 1 hour. Again, I use these, I mark off levels on higher time frames, and then those will show up on my lower time frames. And I also want to mark off this level down. That's the bottom of the band here on the 1 hour. It's also been some support, and we've got a little LVN right here, this low volume node. Low volume nodes for me oftentimes provide support and resistance. We've got another little one right here, but this one I think would be significant because it's right here at the bottom of the band. I look for those to correspond with other levels that I mark out. So in this case, the bottom of the band on that looks pretty good as a level that's at 14,080-ish. There might be some leeway on that down to 14,075 or so, or somewhere around there. Price could also want to break this high and come up, test the backside of this trend line plus the top of the band. It may want to come up here. I mean, we're just going to have to watch price action. These are just levels that I'm looking for price to react to and then possibly be able to take a scalp using cumulative delta and just price action on a 500 volume chart. So that's kind of how I trade. I'm also going to mark off that top band up here. I think it's going to be, well, somewhere up there probably. I think by the time, if price wanted to actually come back up here, by the time it did, I think that this top band, the top band and this trend line would probably be coming together and form a pretty good area of resistance. And so I would just wait for price to move up to that. You know, if we break this high, I'll probably just sit on my hands and watch to see if we get up here. And then I would be looking over at that 500 volume chart to be looking at price structure, price action, I mean, and structure, sure. To see if we, you know, start forming lower highs, lower lows on it, getting some trend lines going and trying to trade that structure using delta down here as well. So that's kind of how I trade. We got a whopping 7 minutes for the market opens, so I'll just look at the chat. I haven't looked at the chat at all. It's 10 p.m. in the Philippines. It's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, there's a waiting screen. I didn't know there was a wait. I have no idea how this stuff works, Maria. I just throw this thing up there. The big, okay. Well, I'll have to look up on the waiting screen what that is. Maybe that's on my, the, I don't know, some graphic I have up there, I guess. I'll take a look at it after this one, after today. Hey, Vernon. Hey, ALF. Thanks for joining. Arn, J Trades, SW Blaze, BDM, SL, Slim Jim. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for coming back today. Let's see if we get some good trades. I managed to find a pretty decent one yesterday. As I got off the live stream, you can see it over here. Or it was over here, I think. I can't quite remember. But that was a pretty decent one. Took that up through some levels. So we can see our levels here on the 500 volume, these red lines that we've got marked out. So sometimes what I'll do is even just look at local structure like this. Like I think if we break this high, maybe we'll want to pop up into here. If we break this low, maybe we're going to come down to 14,000. We could look at overnight profile. This is an overnight volume profile. I use a regular trading hours volume profile and a weekly volume profile mostly, but I also have an ETH, an extended trading hours volume profile that I take a peek at. We can see an LVN right here that price is using as support. And we're bouncing off of that a little bit. So that's kind of good to know. It's right that's there. You might now see, you know, a break of this. I'll zoom in on that. I'm sure that's not visible to anybody. You can see this low volume node acting as support. Well, really support is creating this low volume node. We have a counter trend line, right? We just have a trend line. And we break that trend line, we possibly break the 20 SMA here in the 500 volume, and then you might possibly see it pop up into here. That would be a scalp. That's how I trade. I'm a scalper. Particularly, there's this level of resistance right there. Break that. Seems like it would want to move up into this area. But I'm not going to trade that because I have a bearish bias. I don't think I want to go long on it. And it's pre-market. So oh, no problem, Dan. I don't mind sharing my stuff at all. If you can deal with kind of the messiness of it, you're welcome to it. Thanks, Tyson. I appreciate that. I appreciate you enjoying the live stream. I've been doing this for a little bit now, and it's nice to be able to talk through like what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. Oh, I gotta change my typo. I didn't know I had a typo. Let's take a look. I appreciate you letting me know. Oh, I do, don't I? Boy, that's embarrassing. All right, changed and saved. Thanks for letting me know about that. I should hire like a graphic artist, graphic designer to do some better better thumbnail images and just get the channel a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. I really just threw this together like one day. Like I've been thinking about doing a channel, so I just threw, I went on Canva or something and just threw together the thumbnails and the little icon, the little logo, and just threw it up there just to see if it would get any traction. I think it's probably time to get somebody who knows what they're doing to clean it up. So we can see the support area here. I mean, this was kind of the trade I was talking about before. Market's going to open in 8 minutes. Looking at that that level right here for this thing to possibly pop down. Sorry, I just wanted to check my contract size. I'm only trading one contract. To pop down into here, but on the open's so tricky. It could definitely, on the open, it could definitely just spike through here and then come all the way back up here and then come all the way back down. It's so tricky to trade it. To like really hold the big move on the open. You could probably, I sometimes take some scalps on the open. In and out within, 2 seconds, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get the bear avatars. Okay, I feel like it's just something to look at. It's kind of gimmicky, right? Maybe I'll just use a webcam. Maybe I'll just use my own face. But I think you need like a connection, like a personal connection, not just like a voice and charts. And this seems like a lot of charts going on here. All right, so I got the market open now. I think it's got room down to 16 possibly. So here's this move up. I'd actually be looking to take a short at exhaustion on this. I don't think it's going to have the gas to go much higher. Remember, before I forget, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. PMI. I don't want to be in that. The thing is, you could jump on a short up here, but then like, where do you put your stop? You can take a real beating by shorting it here and then keep moving your stop because it just keeps inching higher. Not a lot of volume. I don't like how it's just right around VWAP like that. You can really get chopped up around VWAP. See how it's just inching higher? You're like, man, this looks like a short. I'm holding it, and before you know it, you're down 20 points. I'm just trying to use my trader spidey sense here to... I can see Delta down there dropping though. Definitely not buying it, but I don't like how it's right around VWAP. I don't like how it's pushing off of VWAP. I'd like to see it break lower here. Yeah, I thought about that bear for bearish thing too. If they had a bull, I probably would keep the avatar, and then I could have the bear and the bull going. I don't want to get in right here. Is it really going to drop? Probably not. Just watching this thing. See, point of control came in down here. Got room. I may take off this trade. I can see Delta down here making some a little bit more bullish structure. I'm watching this 5-minute. Here comes some selling. Some buying, some selling, some buying, some selling. Ooh. There goes a move, huh? All right, something happened. I'm taking off that order. Right down at that area of support. Delta popping up. Might want to move higher here. Maybe up to the top of the band on the 5-minute. Looking over at the 1-hour chart to see where it may want to go. Maybe up to 40, 50. I'm wondering if some news came out that I'm not aware of. I need a squawk box. We got bears coming in. Sitting on our hands. Let's see what European markets look like. European markets are all down about 2%. All European markets are down about 2%. Asia's up. Asia's green. Asia was green. Asia's now closed. You have this LVN right here. See that? LVN right here, plus value very high on a weekly volume profile. Looking at Delta, where Delta is on this. No, adjust that. Draw some structure. We've got first leg, second leg, ABCD pattern. So I would now be looking for Delta to start making some bearish structure. Feels like it may be reaching some exhaustion. The back end of this trend line may be resistance, upper end of the band here. I don't know, does it want to come all the way up here? Possibly. We've now gone green on the day. Let's look at what the other indices are doing. Other indices are also green, barely. Let's look at an overnight volume profile. Up at the top of the value area. Bearish candle on the 1 minute. Delta's dropping. Delta's going up. Or price is going up, I should say. New highs, bullish sign. Very bullish sign because this looks like a super bearish candle. And when we break that high on that, to me, that's a bullish sign. It should go down, and it doesn't. It's not going down. So I'm not going to short it up here, but now we've got Delta making new lows. See how this next 1 minute candle wants to go. I want it to break this LVN, and I may get out down here. Oops, I hit the mic, sorry. I'm just watching Delta here. Starting to form some bearish structure. I'm wondering if this support breaks, this LVM breaks, we're going to want to get a little bit of a move down. And I'll just take that scalp. I don't know. This is looking kind of bullish right there on the 1 minute. 5 minute looks like it actually gapped up a little bit. I mean, there goes Delta. Oh man, didn't take our price though. 170. Let me see Delta. Delta came through on that one. Yeah, and I'm just a scalper, guys. I'm not looking to hold this the whole move on that. What goes up must come down, right? Now we're hitting the 20 SMA on the 1 minute. I could have held this down. I could have held this down for a little bit longer, I guess. Although I probably manually would have closed out on these two little dojis right here. I'm just looking for that pop. We may be forming an up channel. Let's copy this, move it up to the top. I don't know. I should take this trend line off. I'm guessing about that trend line. So now we got point of control coming in up here. Price is probably going to want to move away. But we've got VWAP down here. And this red line is the 20 SMA on the 1 hour right here. There's also this LVN coming through right there on the 1 hour, on the weekly volume profile. You can see it. So it's kind of an area of confluence. If you wanted to buy it, you could just draw a trend line like this, and then as price broke 14,021, you could buy it up into this. You can see Delta holding. So it's trying to decide what it wants to do, that's for sure. This 15-minute is about to close. I've got 30 and 15 minutes up. Sometimes I'll just take a peek at them when one's about to close. So this one's going to close in about a minute. You could take that buy there, but there's really, your exit would be the value area high here. There's not a lot of meat on that. I could see it coming up, pinning through. I mean, my trade is still down here, I feel like. But that's kind of closing in because my exit's going to be the bottom of the band, so it's at 14,120. I may just get out at 14,133 or something if it breaks this level. And that was like my original trade. If you remember, I had a short order down here. Good morning, kiddos. Kiddos. Ezra. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate everybody logging in on this. Just watching it here. Watching to see what it wants to do down at this level. Session lows. I'm going to put this in case we just get a real quick move, but I've got my finger on Control Z here. So if I want to take this off, I'm going to be watching Delta as if price begins to move down that way. Now we've got buyers coming in, so I may take this order off. I kind of like the break of that 50 level down to 33 as a scalp. But again, I may take it off. I'm not 100% on it. PMI is out in 14 minutes. Is the market just gonna chop around until then? So what I need to do here is move this up. See that? It's pinching in quite a bit. I need to get out before this band if this does take. Nah, I'm gonna take it off, I think. Too much buying coming through on that. Well, guys, I hate to make you sit around and wait for 13 minutes, but I think we're gonna have to wait for PMI to come out. to take another trade. So this is super choppy. Although, if you look at it, I mean, you could just trade these trend line breaks, although there was a trend line break and no follow through on it. Anybody else taking trades this morning? Vernon got a short that failed and a long that worked. So that's good. I'm glad your second trade came through. Oh, thanks, Dyson. I appreciate that, man. Just sitting here. This is too choppy right now. Almost like what it was yesterday. It chopped around for like a full hour. And then finally something came through on it. Nice job, Verinder. Did you take shorts? Are you going short? You going long? A little bit of both? Yeah, Dan, I'm just waiting for this number to come out at 9. Or numbers. I think this is probably short here. Call it Delta selling. It's moving so oddly. Big price spikes. Really aggressive Delta, but not in a good way. Kind of more like in a random way. Just gotta remember tomorrow, Powell is testifying at the House at 10 a.m. Eastern. Comes a move to the down. Yeah, I think so too. I kind of my eye always kind of goes short on things. We can now see Delta here making pretty good new lows. I'm wondering if price is now finally going to break this level. Unfortunately, this band is pinching up now, so my take profit area is decreasing. And this data is going to come out in 7 minutes. And now it's spiking up. Take a buy at 200. Back up to 18. I'm not going to do that though. It's not in my playbook. That trade is not in my playbook. I can totally see getting trapped down here at 14,147. So, I'm gonna get some coffee and we'll let the number come out and then maybe see if we get a trade a little bit after 9. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. We've got 3 minutes for this number to come out. Man, look at the choppiness. Chop, 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 chop. I talked about it before. It's kind of like just watching every day what the market's doing. Yesterday it was super choppy too, and then finally we got a break, and price made a move one way, and I'm just kind of waiting to see if it wants to do that today. I keep moving this line up with this band because if this support level does break, this is my target. And as price is now beginning to trend up more, you can see the band's kind of moving up. This is moving up. So my take profit target is getting smaller and smaller, and that trade is getting less and less attractive as that happens. So I may wait for something else. I may just take my eye off that and try to see what happens when this number comes out. I mean, it's not going to be a big number. I mean, it's not going to be fireworks when this thing comes out, but I think price kind of just chops around and doesn't really make a decision on what it wants to do until that number comes out. And then it may just do what it was going to do anyway. So, waiting for that. Jeez, Russia is really out of control. I thought this Russia thing would be over in a few days. They would go in, take their 2 regions that they wanted to take, and then be done with it. And they're getting after it in Ukraine. Jesus. Kharkiv bombed as massive Russian convoy threatens Kyiv. I didn't think it would go that far, to be honest. You get price just spiking around. Oh, the number came out. Let's see what it is. Honestly, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't think price is going to make a move one way or the other with it. It was a decent number. It was a good number, but I mean, I don't have to be looking to fade that move, that spike. We can see here now this area coming, that trend line and the upper end of the band are coming together there. It's up at 80. I mean, that's not too far away. 60 points. Oh, I should have faded. I thought about taking a short right there at 19, but I didn't. So I think that this 20 SMA and BWAP and all this stuff over here on the 1 hours. I mean, I don't know if that's what price is reacting to. Price certainly doesn't seem to want to go lower here. I'm gonna take off this. I think that 14,150, this area down here is now going to be support. I don't think there's that drop trade on it anymore that I was looking for. At least not for now. I'm not seeing that setup anymore. I think price could come down here and then we come back up, and we're just chopping around today. Look, just chopping in the ranging. It's a range day. I think 46. I should have faded it up here on that reaction to the data. Just waiting here, guys. Waiting to see if it wants to do something. Move that line down just to correspond with the bottom of the band here. See Delta moving up now at this kind of support area. I'm getting kind of bored with this, guys, to be honest with you. This is not my kind of trading day. Brinder's made a good day. He's up to almost 1,200 bucks. He's trading this thing. Hey, Mickey Man, thanks for joining. Now I see point of control coming in down here. Now it looks like maybe it's going to want to move back up. Delta moving up. This may now want to make a move to the upside. There you get a little spike on it. A lot of volume coming through on it. I mean, the value area today is super small. It's 50 points. I'm almost tempted just to buy it because, like I said, I'm getting bored. But I don't think that's the best idea, right? That's how you lose your money. That does look like a buy. It's just chopping. It's not chopping. I mean, it's ranging. Chopping. It's ranging. It's got a structure. Oh, that's awesome, Brenda. Who'd you go with? Which company? Top Step, One Up, Lilu, Apex. There seems to be more of them popping up every day. Somebody like Tick Trader or something. You Profit. I've heard bad things about You Profit though. There was another one that popped up, which I can't remember. You Profit. Well, I'm sure You Profit's fine. One thing I saw about You Profit, I can't remember. I remember I was looking at it originally, and somebody was like on Trustpilot or something about You Profit, and they had a bad experience. You made like 25 grand or something in like the first day or the first week, and You Profit didn't pay out. But and then You Profit claimed that he had broken a rule or something. So he was pretty upset about it. Of course, there's two sides to every story, and I'm sure your experience will not be like that. Well, I hope your experience is not like that. I mean, maybe it wasn't You Profit. Maybe it wasn't You Profit. Let's see if I can find this. You always got people who are writing negative stuff. I'd really be curious to see how much money these evaluation companies make. Yeah, I think you're right, Verinder. Everyone's got good and bad reviews. A lot of people don't read the rules properly, or when they get their live account, um, or not even when they get their live account, when they do the evaluation, they don't read the rules clearly. Um, they don't realize they got to cancel their subscription if they fail. And then they get all upset about the company, but it's not the company's fault. It's user error. Yeah, let us know how it goes, Verinder. I wish you the best of luck, most success with that. Definitely keep us posted on how it goes. What's UProfit's withdrawal process? I know, like with Lilu and Apex, it's got there's limits for the first 4 months. No, I hear you. Yeah, it's terrible. The range is painful, particularly the way that I trade. I drew this blue box here because I think the bottom of this band is going to be some support. And it's just kind of like a support zone. I would have to see this thing really aggressively close to the downside in order for me to try to take a short on it. Down here, you don't want to short the bottom. First 40 days, withdrawals within the first 40 days gives you 50%. So 50%, no max withdrawal. Like if you made 20 grand, they would give you 10,000 in the first month. Oh, that's cool. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I like that. I hate the ones where they make you wait 4 months to take any significant um, withdrawal. They're just betting that you lose your account. That's what they're doing. Now we're starting to move a little more aggressively down. Hitting the bottom of the support zone though, which is the bottom of the band. What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining us. Trading the ES. I've got the ES up on another chart here. I used to trade the ES. Ooh, that looks shorty. Sometimes I miss the ES is just so civilized. I miss trading the ES sometimes. Nasdaq is like a screaming 2-year-old, and the ES is like a refined gentleman. Other indices are down almost 1%. Nasdaq is not down as much as them, which makes me think either the other ones are overextended to the downside or the Nasdaq has got some room to fall here. But we're pinning off the bottom of the band at the moment. We've got this, keep calling it a counter trend line. Somebody should correct me on this. We just have this resistance trend line going on. We've got VWAP and the 20 SMA here. That area of confluence. This might be a short, but to be honest, I feel like we're at this big support area. So really you'd be looking for this to break and then take it to the upside. Since, you know, Delta is negative, but we're not in a bearish structure. We're in a ranging structure on it. Buying it up at 91. 91. I just can't bring myself to buy it. I just can't do it. Keep thinking we're going to break to the downside. But I see Delta coming through on that. See if I can get a scalp out of this. A lot of Delta coming through. Just a little scalp. The 14,200 level. I don't know. Can you take up the value area high? Probably. I'm just not comfortable buying it. But I'll take the trade if it presents itself. Ugh. 311. One contract. Holy smokes, this is a ranging day. I don't remember like having a true ranging day in a long time. I'm not good at ranging days. FYI. Sometimes I think as a trader, it's good to know when the market conditions suit you. Man, I should have held that. Look at that. Right up into that spot. Look at Delta coming through now. This right here was a good entry, would have been a good entry. Yeah, I'm not really trading BDM. This is just, I kind of know that I'm not trading. I'm not really looking for anything that's spectacular. I know this isn't my day. I just took that little, I just taken a couple little scalps. Delta now though is, let's see. Delta's looking very bullish. Very bullish. I'm looking at that 1 minute candle over there to see what it wants to do up at that price. Well, guys, I don't know. What do you think? Call it a day? Doesn't seem to be wanting to really give me anything here. Textbook range day, though. Jeez. Say that and watch it just start shooting to the upside. Boom. Got some room to come up that way, I think. But so this red line, this red line here is right there. I would think that this is probably, if it starts breaking higher, then that's probably where it's going to want to go. It may want to do that. You can see Delta moving pretty strongly to the upside, or just ranges. I mean, the other indices are negative. See Delta down there. I also don't want to get stuck up here. Pops through and then rolls down. The only thing I could really see happening is that price makes its way up to this area and we get some structure, kind of like what we traded over here on the 1 minute, where we get some better structure. And then you trade. So over here, kind of how we took that, and you could buy it up, but we would just do the opposite of price moves up to this area. We get some nice structure going on it, and then we short that trend line back down into the value area. I wouldn't trust this trend line break right here. I feel like it wants to do another leg. That's just what I think. Probably wrong. So that may be what I stick around and wait for, but I don't know when that's going to happen. It may not happen. And I feel like the more that I sit and stare at the chart, the more I'm going to want to try to take something that isn't going to be a good trade. So I'm probably going to sign off here, guys. I'll keep this open, and I may come back and look at it periodically to see what it's doing, but I don't see anything setting up for me right now. You could just take a short at 19 and hope it drops back to VWAP possibly, but This delta structure looks too bullish to me, and I think it's got some more room on it up there. So I'm probably, and you can see now it's moving up. And that looks bullish on the 1 minute. Like I said, I think it's got one more leg in it, and then we could draw this trend line, you know, something like this maybe, and try to trade a break of that structure back to the downside. Delta's now dropping a little bit. So guys, I'm gonna sign off, I think. I don't know. I'm staring at this too long. I think I'm gonna make a bad decision. I hope you guys are having a good trading day though. It sounds like some guys in here are making the money, finding the opportunities. Or not just making the money, but finding the opportunities, reading it well. I mean, if you're trading micros and you only made $500, or $500 is a lot of money. If you only made $50 on 500 on micros, that's great. If you're reading it well, you're having a good trading day, and the market's coming easy to you, I think that's great. You can see, I'm just keep looking at this. I mean, you can see it opening up now to this level. A lot of delta coming through, but I don't know. I'm gonna let it move around a little bit more. I don't know how long this is gonna take. So, thanks. Bye hi solo. It took me a while to do this. You can see something when I first tried to live stream. It was a mental head game, and I blew up an account, a funded account, live on a live stream once, and I told myself I wasn't going to live stream again. But trading one contract, just sizing down, kind of helps control those emotions. So I'm having fun with it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, Powell is going to be testifying tomorrow, so you want to make sure you're aware of that. He's also testifying on Thursday, and then we've got NFP coming out on Friday. So some big news stuff going on. One way that I would trade Powell is not take any trades until he says something that might move the market. If you're going to trade tomorrow and Thursday, he mentions he sneezes and the market moves 500 points. So really need to be careful on that. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and yeah, it was fun. I like it. Tomorrow, let me see if I'm going to live stream, because like I just said, Powell's going to be testifying tomorrow. Markets are going to be all over the place. But I think we should keep the live streams going. If you guys want to jump in on it, that'd be awesome. So I'll do it tomorrow, and we can kind of go over pre-market plan, and maybe find if he's testifying at 10. I don't know if we can take any trades before he testifies. I don't know. This looks like a buy. Yeah, we'll just do the live stream tomorrow and see how it goes, see how the markets are operating. We might be able to find a couple scalps. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow. If anything here develops, price comes up. It looks like it wants to come up to that level. You can see the band opening up. It's got a nice entry up there. If anything else develops, I'll record it and throw it up on YouTube later like I did yesterday. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good day. Thanks a lot.